Alrighty, everyone. Continuing on with DSP versus the Internet, episode 18 for June 17, 2023. This is part 3. Check out the first 2 parts if you haven't seen them yet. And if you want to be a part of the fun and be the people who nominate the videos, please become a member today. It is the channel members who have been supporting this channel through their memberships, and they're the ones who provide the content for this show on a weekly basis. Ultra members are guaranteed to be watched. Standard members are in a shuffle playlist. And in fact, I think we have one more Ultra member we're going to watch, and then we're going to jump into the playlist, I believe. Let's see what's next here. I said, let's see what's next here. A certain span of time. What the hell? Wait, what the hell just happened? Through like look, my phone glitched or something like that. I can't even. I guess what it's supposed to be. I can't even stop the video. Is it glitched? Is somehow, and this is the problem somehow with syncing playlists on YouTube. Sometimes it doesn't work. It completely glitched. So I'm clearing the queue now. Okay. Was that the last video? Let me just double check. Oh, that was the last video. This is the last video.
Prophecy is true.
Well then. Yeah, this is weird. Look at this. I can't even... It plays my own podcast. It plays my own podcast even though I didn't tell it to. This is YouTube. It's so stupid, right? Well, that was funny. That was the last Ultra member submission. All right. So now what we're going to do, we're going to go to the standard members playlist and we're going to hit shuffle. And we're going to see what you guys had to nominate. Wow, what an increase. Last week we only had 27 videos. This week we have 41 in the shuffle playlist. All right. All right, ready? This is going to be completely random. Let's see what you standard members this week have nominated for the show. I can't wait to see the chaos. Ready? Chaos shall ensue. Here we go. Are we going to be able to watch this? If it's Rick and Morty footage, this is not going to be a problem. How is this a Rick and Morty crossover? It's a Simpsons intro, unless they're in the end of the intro. Is this their modern intro? Didn't they redo the intro in HD? This looks like the old intro. No, I guess not. This is the new one. It has the baby or whatever. I'm just curious. I'm going to give it a second here to see if copyright hits. It's nothing yet, surprisingly. I thought copyright would hit for a Simpsons intro. Oh, really? Apparently the Simpsons don't do couch gags anymore? Huh. Well, let's see. No copyright yet, surprisingly. Maybe they edited it enough that it doesn't hit for copyright. Yeah, this is the modern intro. Now, yeah, he goes through the whole... Yeah, see, he goes all through all of Springfield. Oh, no, there we go. We just got it. Just got the copyright. All right, on to the next.
So recently it seems like...
What the hell? What? Why is it the same video? I think the same video got nominated twice, and it just played it again. Yeah. An Ultra member nominated this video, and then a Standard member nominated the video. Well, we already watched this one, so I think we can skip it. Okay. Modern vintage gamers.
If you ask me what my favorite title in the Resident Evil franchise is, it's Resident Evil 2.
Wrong.
For me, it's one of those sequels that is better than the original in almost every way.
Wrong. No, it actually is
Resident Evil 2 follows the story of Leon Kennedy and Claire Redfield
Ew.
as they attempt to escape
Dogpiled
Raccoon City during a zombie outbreak. For the game, Capcom wanted Resident Evil to contain more movie elements in both story and atmosphere, and the tension is just at the right level. The enemies that you will encounter are memorable, and you'll never know what's waiting for you around the corner.
Surprise! Yeah, I would say Resident Evil 2 is a big improvement from 1. I would agree.
The music by composer Masamu Ueda is incredible, suspenseful, mysterious, and unnerving. Resident Evil 2 stands as one of the best survival horror games ever made, and it's no surprise that Capcom remade the game in 2019.
It was insanely good.
Released
That remake was one of
originally
the best
for the
of all
Sony
time.
PlayStation, the game came on 2 CDs with 2 separate characters to play through as. Each character has 2 scenarios which can be unlocked when you complete the game the first time round. These scenarios unlocks events from the other character's perspective. The game was a smash hit. It sold 380,000 copies during opening weekend and grossed $19 million. The game would also see ports to other systems, notably the Sega Dreamcast, Nintendo GameCube, and the Nintendo 64.
Yeah, I knew about this.
But if
I
there's
didn't
one
get it
port
though.
that stands out as truly the most impressive port of the game to various systems, it undoubtedly has to be the Nintendo 64 version.
Released almost 2 years from the original PlayStation 1 version, Resident Evil 2 on the Nintendo 64 is a technical masterpiece. Somehow, the entire game, with both Leon and Claire's gameplay, including full motion video movies, music and audio, were all compressed down to fit in a 64 megabyte cartridge.
Wow.
This was achieved by Angel Studios, a team of 9 developers with a budget of $1 million. 2 CDs totaling 1.2 gigabytes of data was compressed to fit on a single Nintendo 64 cartridge. The video files in particular have a compression rate of 165 to 1.
Wow.
Yet in a vacuum, they look perfectly serviceable. It's only when you put them against the PlayStation 1 version that you notice that some sacrifices were made. What's also interesting about the Nintendo 64 is that there's no dedicated video decoding hardware for full motion video. It was all done in software.
Unlike the PlayStation 1, which has dedicated movie decoding hardware, the Nintendo 64 has no such thing. But thanks to clever utilization of the RSP and custom microcode, meant that full motion video was actually possible on the N64.
Full motion video on the N64 wasn't exclusive to only Resident Evil 2. In fact, Pokemon Puzzle League, which came out before Resident Evil 2, has a 30-second FMV intro, which looked as good as anything that you would see on the Sony PlayStation.
Come and see me in my office at Puzzle League Village.
Yeah.
Professor Oak.
Eager to prove themselves in this new type of Pokemon battle, Ash and Pikachu race to Pokemon Puzzle League Village.
There it is, Pikachu. Are you ready for
Not bad
another
at all.
challenge? Pikachu.
Not bad at all
But
for
Resident Evil
N64.
2 was a different animal. We're talking about 15 minutes of full motion video that ran natively on the PlayStation 1 at 320 by 160 pixels at 24-bit color. Uncompressed, this would require about 4 gigabytes. With no dedicated decompression hardware, meant that any compressed video format would require code to be written in software. Furthermore, the developers would only have 24 megabytes of 64 megabytes allocated for the FMV. The approach was to utilize compression,
Look at Zombie
and
was
a
out the window. I
technique
forgot
known as
about
chrome
that.
subsampling took advantage of perception traits in humans, that we are more susceptible to brightness and contrast changes over color itself. If we consider these 4 images, the rightmost one has no subsampling. The furthest left has horizontal resolution reduced by a quarter of the original, and bandwidth is also halved. At a quick glance, all 4 of these images appear to be the same, but a closer look reveals that you can clearly see the artifacting. But on a CRT, with continuous moving full motion video images,
Can't really tell the
these
difference.
imperfections aren't as easily noticeable, and this is what the developers thought would be a suitable compression technique. With this
Hey, it
in
made it
mind, a
fuzzy as
tool to
shit,
compress
right?
the video images was developed. But even with the chroma subsampling technique, the video size would still end up being too large. The next idea was to reduce the bitrate, but reducing the bitrate meant that the quality of the video would be subpar. Increasing the bitrate was desired, but it simply exceeded storage requirements. This was not ideal, but thanks to the Nintendo 64 custom hardware and a few tricks up its sleeve, it was one of the earliest consoles to support vectors.
We're not going to watch the whole thing. This is 12 minutes long, but just to give some perspective, this was a really unique time in gaming because Nintendo had been at the top of its game up until the N64 era. And this was really the first case of a misstep, in my opinion, from Nintendo, because Nintendo always wanted to do things a little different, right? They didn't really care about how everyone else did anything. What was supposed to happen, I remember in arcades, they were advertising the Ultra 64, This was before N64 was announced. It was called the Ultra 64, and first you found out about it by playing Killer Instinct, the arcade game. There was actually an ad for Ultra 64 in the arcade game, and it would say, coming soon, Ultra 64 and Killer Instinct, this game you're playing right now will be ported to it. It was an ad in the arcade game to advertise the upcoming Nintendo console. So everyone got super hyped for it because, like, damn, Killer Instinct looks really good compared to other arcade games for the time, and it actually had stereo quality music as well. You know, it was actually like a CD playing inside. So people were blown away by Killer Instinct and saying, wow, this is the future of console gaming. This will be amazing. But what ended up happening was Nintendo changed all their ideas. Nintendo was supposed to be coming out with the first CD-based console that was going to take hold. It was before PlayStation, it was before anything, and they were actually working with Sony to have this Ultra 64 console have a disc drive in it, and Sony was going to mass produce the disc drives while Nintendo was going to make the games and the other chipset to make this whole thing. For some reason, I don't know what it was, Nintendo and Sony had a falling out, and so Nintendo backed out of the idea and made their own console, the N64, which was cartridge only based. They abandoned the CD idea. Well, Sony said, well, screw that. We're going to keep the idea because we think it's a good idea. And they made their own console and entered the console market with the Sony PlayStation. So essentially, Nintendo created their own competition. And if you take a look at the N64 versus PS1, I mean, N64 was so limited by 64-bit cartridges. The storage was incredibly small compared to what could be stored on a disc. So in a game like Resident Evil 2, they had to do insane amounts of compression and insane amounts of conversion to get this game to run on N64, which is weird because if you look at games on N64, a lot of them were pretty good. You know, you're talking about Mario 64, Ocarina of Time, Star Fox 64. Those are pretty big, lengthy games that could fit, but, you know, with the CD quality stuff, you know, it blew it away, honestly. It was like leaps and bounds, and PlayStation was right around the same time as N64. You know, what N64 had for it innovating was the controller. Had the thumbstick, the first ever thumbstick on any controller, and it totally innovated game controls from then on. Every controller wanted a thumbstick after that. But outside of that, PlayStation left them in the dust with the technology. And it really, like I said, I really feel like the falling out with Sony and deciding to go cartridge-based again was really what killed their market leadership. You know, it wasn't until the Wii that Nintendo kind of came back from being kind of the third, well, I said the second group, because Sony dominated them in that era, you know. All right, let's continue. Like I said, I'm not going to watch that whole video. Let's see what's next on the agenda here from our members. What in the hell is this? This is a parody. There's no way this is real. PCX from Joey? There's no way this is a real song. He made a song about the store PCX. Like, isn't it a PC component store or something, right? Oh my god. Is he putting cough syrup in a drink? Oh my god. Why do they have 100 drinks? What is that? Mumble rap, exactly. Oh, PCX is clothing? I didn't even know that. PCX is a clothing store. I guess he's supposed to be making fun of this style of clothing, right? Mumble rap. All I do, I talk into the mic like this, and then we do the auto-tune over it. It makes it sound like music because it's rhyming. Don't you know there's no thought that goes into this song? See, I can do it too. I made it up on the fly. I didn't even fucking go into a studio. Look at that. Okay. Anyway, let's continue. Enough of that. People are like, MC Phil. See? I could do it. I don't even need the studio. I'll just fucking do it right here.
Oh, I only need one, but we need your photo ID too. That's what I'm saying. You know what? That's cool. There you go.
Thank you very much.
GameStop manager threatens and belittles a GTA 5 customer? What?
You are so very welcome.
Somehow I doubt that, given the attitude you're giving me.
Oh, no. I'm very sincere. We do appreciate your business.
You won't get it again.
Fantastic. I'm sorry you feel that way.
Okay.
You got
Thank
your
you.
game.
Have a great one.
Yeah, you too. Hey, you got that on video, right? He's very nice.
Yeah.
Right?
We have his business card. Enjoy your game.
We all have his business card. You guys want to email him and thank him for holding up the line for him?
Right now, because you just threatened to give my public information out and have me harassed.
Nobody's going to harass you.
Then why don't you write down your name and phone number for me right now?
That's fantastic. I have like
That's
3
what
phone
you just
numbers.
said.
What is going on?
That's what you just said, and you have no idea how to behave professionally.
That's
You thought this was a pissing contest, and guess what? Now you lose.
Oh, no. We all know it's a pissing contest.
Okay?
So, how we doing? He's winning, right? He's winning?
What is going on?
Ma'am, I'm sure you have employers, and I'm sure they don't like the idea that you make fun of customers.
Nobody's making fun of you. I
didn't
just
write
think
down
it's a
your
little
name,
bit ridiculous that you think that you can come and pick it up without understanding that you need ID, especially
So,
when it's paid
this
off.
was the launch of GTA 5, and I guess she's supposed to be a manager or a regional manager at the store, and somehow she got into a fight with this guy buying the game, and I guess she made comments publicly with the people in the line about him. So then he came back in the store and is like, you're supposed to be a manager and you're saying these horrible things about me. Like, how would your employer feel about that? Right? Huh.
You need to write down your last name. When you leave in real life, you lose in the game. Yes, you do.
There you go.
You need to
You
write
don't
down
need
your
to
last
know my
name.
last name.
Ma'am, you work in customer service.
That's okay.
You need to give me your
You don't
last
need
name.
to-
Legally, she
Just know-
doesn't, so you just
Thank
shut
you.
up.
Thank you.
You can just give her her first name, that's good enough. So
Ma'am,
she
I would
leaves.
like you to write down your
I'm
last
not
name.
going to write down my last name.
Fine. When I talk to customer service,
That's
I will
fantastic.
explain to them. I
That's
will explain to
fantastic.
them that
We
you did not
have
write down
it
your last name.
all. I don't have to
Go play a game and steal stuff, bro. Go steal stuff in a game. Get mad.
I can't believe people like you exist.
Go shoot people and steal their cars.
You too, man. You too.
Bye.
I'm not.
I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
GTA 5 was probably one of the last games that had a big midnight release from what I can remember. It was like 2013. Like, I remember going to and having to get in line at night at my local GameStop just like this and wait and pick up the game. I remember having to do this. But yeah, I after that, pretty much, you know, I would say 2014, 2015 is when I started getting everything digital. After I moved, I stopped going to GameStop to get the games. So, anyway, yeah, it's weird. So people are like, well, why are people siding with her? It's weird because you didn't hear the beginning of the conversation. The recording started when they were already upset with each other. Like, you didn't get to hear the first part, so I don't know what happened. All of a sudden, he's saying, I guess she was belittling him or treating him badly and said something about she should give out his information or something. And he's like, well, how would you like that if I did that to you? And plus you're a manager. You're supposed to be, you know, professional. You're not professional at all. So I guess we kind of missed the interaction. Excuse me. We missed the interaction there to find out what she was upset or what he was upset about with her. But here's the thing, like, if there's a recording, and look, this had 766,000 views on the internet. I don't know. I would feel like maybe she's in trouble because you can't have an interaction like that with a customer publicly on the internet. You know what I'm saying? Like, I almost feel like she probably did get in trouble for that. You know? I guess we would have to see a follow-up. I don't know if there's any follow-up on the video here. Yeah, tons of comments. I'm trying to find them. 2,700 comments. I love the fact the guy filming this thinks he's backing her up, but he got her fired because of the evidence he created. 318 thumbs up. Good for the customer coming back in and sticking up for himself. She was just terrible. This is coming from someone who's been in customer service for a decade. The customer was the most rational, logical guy. She threatened to give his email out to get harassed. Unprofessional. Huh. People are saying, I think she should have just gotten disciplinary action and not been flat out fired. Excuse me. No one's providing any evidence of anything, though. They're claiming she got fired, but no one's providing any evidence of anything. So. No, exactly. Derek says, didn't Rambo get in trouble? Yeah, so here's a story. So, when John and I were starting to make content on YouTube together, John actually worked for GameStop. And we happened to go to a video game tournament that was held at a different game store. I think it was called Play and Trade, something like that. So we went there, and I was recording, and I think John said something on camera like, oh, Play and Trade, the best game store ever, or something like that. So he goes to work. He gets pulled into an office at his job in GameStop, and his manager and the regional manager are there, and they tell him, you can't do that. That you, as an employee of GameStop, you're a public representation, and you showing in these videos at a different game store and saying that it's good, it's bad, and we're going to discipline you for it. And he was like, what are you, out of your mind? He's like, I can do whatever I want. I didn't have a GameStop shirt on. No one knew that I worked at GameStop in the video. How can you even say that? Like, what do you think? You control my life? So he literally walked out, never went back to work, and he got unemployment and got another job. He's like, I'm not going back to that environment. What a fucked up company. It's a true story. Pretty messed up. All right, let's continue.
I have one final wish. Let me look into your eyes one last time. You have your mother's eyes, Father.
Hello, everyone. This is your...
I don't even know what that was. I mean, I know who that was, but what was the joke? It was so fast, I don't even get the joke. Does anyone even know what the joke was? I want to watch it again. Hold on.
I have one final wish. Let me look into
Oh, cutscenes that keep the stupid clothes that you put on your character. Oh, okay.
I have one final wish. Let me look into your eyes one last time. You have your mother's eyes, Father.
Oh, okay. When you read the title, it made more sense. When it was out of context, you didn't understand it. When you read it with the context, it made more sense. We'll do one more video before we split the part here. The Navy is training actual SEALs.
This is your daily dose of internet. This gas station offered some free gas to anyone willing to dance for it.
What?
What are you? What is this?
The U.S. government has trained sea lions to play simple video games. According to the U.S. Navy, the purpose is to provide enrichment for the sea lions they are taking care of.
So they control the fish? They control the fish with the buttons.
Have you ever seen someone take their parrots for a walk?
Nice. Okay then. What the hell is this guy doing? What is this? What in the holy hell? What? That's not real.
So I guess professional
that was not real.
Tag is now a real thing.
Can it be one of the long-standing members, Sean Law, who
World Chase Tag Championships?
The former world finalist. He keeps looking and seeing Sukan scrambling, coming for him, low and swinging and missing, and Sean Law might nick it. It is
Tag Championships.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm thinking something a little fancier than a leopard gecko. Oh my god.
Have you ever seen a bear that looked this old before?
Oh my god, look at this bear. Wow, how old is that bear? An ancient bear.
One of my subscribers found this flower that has a weird genetic mutation.
Yeah, look at that. Unique.
It took a few seconds for this owl to realize that they were awake.
A super cute baby owl. Ah!
I didn't think it was possible, but a tornado somehow touched down on a mountain in
Wow.
Montana.
What the holy heck? That's a high up tornado, man.
This is pretty wild. Some guy bought a $3 million car just to have it sit inside the living room of his apartment forever.
Yeah, and he lifted it up. Wow, how useful.
This dog was trained to help blind people use the bathroom.
Oh, that's lifts the seat. There you go. He He watches them pee. And then he says, oh, you're done? I flush. Ha 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 ha. There you go.
A photographer found this rare orca whale that is completely white.
An albino whale. That's cool. Yeah, look at that. It's an albino killer whale.
No, stop
awesome.
it. He's so cute.
That is the end of this video. We hope you enjoyed. And I'll see you guys again very, very soon.
A smiling possum. Actually, don't all possums do that with their mouths? They go, ah, like that? I think I've seen a lot of possums look like that. Okay. Guys, thanks for watching DSP versus the Internet. That was part 3. I hope you're enjoying the show. For those here live, thanks. You're a good audience today. Enjoying the variety. For those watching on demand, also thank you for all of your viewership. Consider becoming a member. That's the way to support the show and the way that you can nominate videos for the next installment next week. Thanks a lot. See you in the next part.